Represent Clothing does something on their product page that most Shopify brands completely ignore, and it's quietly one of the biggest reasons people actually buy. Their product page converts at a rate that most D2C brands would actually kill for. And I pulled it apart piece by piece, and what I found actually surprised me. So even after doing a video on the homepage, which if you haven't watched that, you can watch that, I assumed the product page would be pretty straightforward, but it's not. They really use a three-part strategy here on this page that creates trust, it creates urgency, and it creates desire, all before someone even clicks the add to cart. So in this video, I'm going to rebuild it from scratch using the free Horizon theme. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Christian Pignon, one of the co-founders at Bit Branding. Over the last 10 years, we've helped more than 800 clothing brands go through some of our programs. So when I break this down and what a brand like Represent is doing on their website, I'm not just guessing, we've actually seen what actually works across hundreds of real stores. We've already built a homepage, so now we're on to the actual product page. If you want to follow along and apply this to your own store, make sure that you are subscribed. We're gonna keep making this video a recurrent series so we get through every single page of Represent's website. Now, most brands treat the product page like a formality, right? You put up your photos, you write up a description, you slap an add to cart button on there and then just call it done. But what Represent does is the actual opposite. Their product page is full of brand experience. And the strange thing is that it actually looks very minimal. It looks clean. Like it almost looks sparse, right? In content, which makes you think there's really nothing to it. But as you're about to see, like every single element on this page is deliberate. The image layout, the typography, the sizing, the trust signal placements, it's all engineered to remove hesitation. All right, so let's jump into the actual product page so we can see some of the things that they're doing here. We've actually selected one of their best sellers, which is a hoodie, which is the Owner's Club, same as the hat that I have right now. It looks like they have a bunch of color swatches or options, a bunch of sizing. They have a very nice size and fit guide in here. Yeah, that's too nice. I don't know if we'll be able to get it exactly like that. They also have some product details, product FAQs, shipping and returns in here, reviews at the very top, what the model is wearing, just a nice little gallery of both what we call like a flat lay, minimalistic background, and then model wearing the actual item. Very clean, again, very sophisticated. This is almost like a even split half and half of photography and information over here. Then they have a couple of what I would say, company benefits, if you will, are being showcased right here. Oh, this is new. Try on in store, powered by Tote. See, I always like to see what some of these brands are testing and trying. This looks interesting. It's almost like if you have in-store, if you have an actual in-store where customers can come in, brick and mortar, you can actually help them try on the items. That's insane. That's pretty cool. Never seen that before. And then when we select this, okay, they do have the buy with shop right within there once you actually make your selection on the sizing. Let's see. Then they have breadcrumbs right underneath, which is interesting placement. But I guess because of the way that their store is set up, the breadcrumbs, that's really the best placement for it. But it just looks kind of odd, but that's really for SEO purposes. Then it looks like they have a nice little gallery. Oh man, that's just so good. Just showcasing and high detail the actual product, which is great. Yeah, I love this. This is a great experience so far. Then we have a style it with, so just a very quick section of like some items that we can actually pair up with that particular hoodie. Then you may also like, which there's quite a bit of product in there, and then recently viewed items in the footer. So overall, again, very minimalistic, very clean. And I'm not gonna lie, they are using some apps in here, so we won't get into the actual apps themselves. So that app right there with the Tote app, we won't be able to necessarily install that. But what I want to get is like the feel and representation, right, of design representation of this page onto the Horizon theme. So as you may know, we designed this version on our previous video. So now we're just gonna jump straight into the actual product page. Let's go to our default product page. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. Let's see if we can do this. All right, so I've already added a product. That product I've added into the back end here. Now, something that I always tell people, and some people get confused about this, but like these templates, you use these templates for multiple products. So a lot of times you really only need this default product template in here. And depending on how many products you have, then you may need some different templates. But this template in general, it's gonna work with all of my products. And that's really what we wanna do. And right here, all Shopify is showing you is just a preview of one of your products. You can always click here to change it. So let's look up represent, owners club. And now we get this preview on, again, the exact same default product template. So just because you make changes here, it's actually gonna make changes on all of your other product pages as well, as long as they're assigned to this default product template. All right, so let's see what we have here. Let's go to our product information block. And then this is like one of those things where you kind of have to be constantly toggling between this full screen and then this desktop view, because this full screen is actually going to give you the full width of the browser, which sometimes can be a little bit tricky. But let's see, can we do full? Yeah, we can do full. Oh, I love it. I love it. So at least it looks like we can do full, which is great. Now, media position, yeah, we want to definitely keep it on the left. Ooh, look at that. They even give us a nice little button, a nice little toggle to make the columns equal from one side to the other, which is exactly what we need here. Let's see, product media, instead of the grid, obviously we want to do the carousel. There we go. Guys, this is looking good. Obviously we have more changes to do, but hey, this is looking pretty good. I didn't even think that we would be able to get this far, so this is a huge win here. All right, so we have the carousel. Aspect ratio, I guess they do have, is it more of a square? Yeah, it is more of a square aspect ratio on their website. Let's go back here. Ooh, something that I'm not seeing. Did we do, so it looks like the navigation. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Let me just keep working through this page here. As you can see, like completely different experience, right? From this view to the actual full screen view. This actually looks a lot like what we actually need. Now, something that I didn't notice is this doesn't necessarily go fully all the way. Let's see, aspect ratio, constraint to screen height. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, we have 0 padding everywhere else, which is great. Now for the details, as you can see here, like they have a big gap left and right on the actual details section, which makes everything just look so much better. I think just better organized. Everything is sort of contained within that area. And I think that's where it breathes a little bit of luxury, if you will, to this section overall. So let's see if we can actually make that a little bit nicer. So this gap 28, what is this? Oh, this is like in between sections. I do think this is going to be handy. Let's just leave it at 15 for now, because again, that's the distance between elements that are basically within that folder of details, which is all of this right here. So let's do the width of it. If we do custom, can we? Oh, we can. Let's go. So let's do 80. Let me see how that looks. Nah, we need more. They're really pushing it there. So let's do 70. Okay, I like that. I like that. We're getting somewhere. Maybe let's get rid of just 5 more percent. 65. Let's go full screen as always. Okay. I like this. I think this is good. This is good. Let me go and hit save. This is one of those things where, yeah, you don't want to get too far ahead without hitting save. So periodically, yeah, you definitely want to hit that save button there. We determined that was layout and the spacing between elements, which is great. Let's let's see, top and bottom. I think we're gonna keep that as it is. Let me go back to product information. We didn't miss anything else there, no. Is there an option? Because I did notice that on Represent's website, they do have the image basically underneath the actual header. You can see like the logo is kind of split the background. That's just because the image has a little bit of gray there in the background. So I don't know if by default they give us the option to do. They do. Okay, so if we click here on header, you'll see if you scroll all the way to the bottom, they do give us the option to do a transparent background for the product page, which is exactly where we're at. And that just means that it just kind of pushes everything up a little bit. And now we have that split right there at the top on the logo. Now, it looks like, yeah, the logo and all these elements are showing in white. So let's just take a look at that and see what we need to fix. And maybe we ran into some issues in the previous video. Maybe that's why we have it the way we do. But just for the sake of this video, we're going to move this. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to that scheme 6. I did see the corner of my eye. The fact that on the homepage we have it as inverse. Does that? No, that doesn't do anything. Never mind. So let me do the inverse. It's the black version, okay? And then as far as the logo. Okay, yeah, there it is. So the inverse just needs to be the black version of the logo. Does this gonna be able to do it now? Let me do. Oh, I see what happened. I think I had a different version on the white and the black version of that logo. So I'm just gonna eyeball it here for now. Let's click save and then see how that looks. Okay, that's not bad. Obviously their navigation is a lot slimmer and thinner, but again, guys, we're working with what we're working with. So it's gonna be it's gonna be as close as we can get it, right? With a free theme. But I mean, just from the get-go here, I mean, this is really good. A lot better than I thought we were going to be doing. Now, let's see if we can do another one of the big things here that Represent does is the size of the font. Like, things here are very small, which it's good, it's bad, it's good, but it always gives it a tad touch of luxury on the website. So let's try to figure out what they have going on here. I have this little handy inspector tool that allows me to hover over elements, and it tells me the font size, the font that they're using, the color. So this looks like to be 16. That looks to be 16. That looks to be 12. So this looks like 16, but it doesn't look like 16. It looks a little bit smaller than that, but we're gonna try it. All right. So overall, let's see if we can we can select the title, and I believe, typography. What if we just keep it paragraph? Interesting, we can. Or there's, it's a little bit darker in color, almost like if it was bolded, but very much a small title. So if we do that, what if can we select all this and make it bold? We can. All right, there we go. A little trick for you. Even if you have something that is a dynamic source, you can technically highlight that and give it any additional elements there. So, okay, that's good. Let's look at this. How we're looking. Let me get rid of this inspector. All right, so let's see. I want to get rid of that little bar. Let's see. Can we? Divider, I don't think we need that divider. That just adds more clutter overall. Oh, okay, something I noticed here. The sizing, this is like large, it's all out of order. This happens sometimes. And if you need to fix this is a very quick fix, guys. Let's go back to, I'm gonna open this in a new tab and go back to our product and find that hoodie. Typically what happens is like if you add the sizing out of order, Shopify won't correct it itself. So you'll have to come in here and then click on it, and then you'll have to just move some things around. So it looks like the large may be the only one that's out of whack here. So 2X, XS, S, M, L, XL, 2XL, perfect. Yeah, let's go ahead and save that. Let's go back to our project here, refresh, and then we should see these back in order. Perfect, yeah, that's what we wanna see. So the other thing that I'm looking at too here, like everything's sharp edges everywhere. So let's see if we can at least get that to work, and let's see if we can get those images to show up here for the additional colors. So we do have the right thing, which is buttons instead of drop downs. We don't want to do drop downs. We definitely want to do buttons. It just makes it so much easier. We do have the option to do swatches. Okay, that's a huge win, just right there doing swatches. We'll see if we can actually do the images. I'll be curious to see if we can do that. But then for these, if we can get rid of that roundness, I think we are winning. Okay, so variant picker. So it doesn't look like give me any options here. So a lot of times if it doesn't give you the options here within the variant picker, I always check on the theme settings. You never know, and typically theme settings are global settings, right? That affect multiple elements and multiple areas of the theme. So what I like to do is just, one, let's just go check on buttons. Yeah, it looks like buttons overall, and I'm pretty sure their buttons, yeah, their buttons are all sharp edges everywhere. So let's get rid of that corner radius. We want to keep it at 0. When you keep it at 0, you see the buttons just went from rounded corners to sharp edges. And then pills, apply for filters, discount code, and search. So again, we want those to be, everything to be sharp. That's still not the variant picker. Let's see what else. Sometimes they show up under, yeah, product cards. So not that one. Variant, oh, there's a very specific one for variant picker. There it is, corner radius. Let's get rid of that. There we go, boom, bada bing, bada boom. We have sharp edges for our buttons and for our size selectors. Now we have this description. They don't do this. They don't show you the full description at a glance. They kind of keep it hidden into some of these product details. Right. This is where this comes out. Now, for the sake of this video, we don't have time to custom code this, and honestly, I think it would be very hard to kind of custom code that into your theme. It's possible. I think it's possible. And is it possible to do it for free? Yeah. Will it take you a month? Maybe. With AI, things are getting easier, but yeah, doing something like this would be very, very complex. So we're gonna use the best we can inside of Horizon, and I think that they have an option to do accordion. So if we can just have this information into an accordion, I think we're winning. I think we have something that will look good and will have the same ideas, right, as what Represent is trying to do here. So let's go ahead and let's see what we have in here. It's a little bit different, but we want to make sure that we're inside of this details folder. And I believe if we add this, actually, yeah, this one up here, this add block is the one that will get us what we need. And yeah, it looks like we can do an accordion. Now, some themes give you the option to do a kind of like a tabbed content. So it really depends. And yeah, this one, what you see, what you get, which is going to be this accordion. So let's do the accordion. Oh, nice. Okay. I like that by default, when I add the accordion, it just automatically adds return, shipping, manufacturing. So it just adds 3, just to give you an example of like, hey, look, this section can include multiple things. So what we'll do is that first one, we will, can I change the name of this? Yes, okay. And what do they call it? They call it just product details, product FAQ, and then shipping and returns. So let's do product details. Let's do the other one, product, I think it was product FAQs. And then the last one, we'll do shipping and returns. And then for that product description, let's just hide it for now. And then inside of this accordion, instead of static text, if we leave the static text, again, because we're using this default product template, it's going to be the exact same text for every single product. So we want to get rid of that. We don't want any static text. What we want to do is add a dynamic source. This means that for every product, it's actually going to change depending on what we have in the back end. So in here, all we have to do is, select the description. And there we go. There's a description now added in here. And it's showing me the actual description because I have this preview selected in here. And then by default, I want to make sure that this one is, like, all of them are closed. I don't want anything open. So yeah, all of them are closed by default. We have our product details in that one. Let me just see. I want to save. I want to see how this looks. I'm afraid that this may push, everything full. Yeah, this is not bad, guys. This is not bad at all. Let's add the FAQs and the shipping and return. So shipping and returns, if this is going to be the same information for all of your products, you're safe. You can actually add it as static text. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy what they have over here, shipping and returns. And this looks pretty standard, right? Like this is something that, product to product should be the exact same thing. So we're going to add that there. And then the product FAQs, let's go to that one, product FAQs. This one will more than likely be different from product to product. So what I recommend doing here is essentially just a text field, meta field. So just as, like, if we go here in the back end, right, like this is a field. The description of the product is a field. It's something where you're adding data in the back end. So if we want some additional information that's not attached to this description and we want to have it split like that on the product page, then we just need to create an additional field. Christian, how do we create an additional field? You can always go to settings. You can go to meta fields and meta objects. That's what a meta field is, a new custom field that you're creating. We're going to do it for our products. So we click on products and then we add a definition. As you can see, we've done a bunch of videos and we've added a bunch of stuff here in the back end. But we'll create a new one just for the sake of this video, add a definition. And then in here, we'll call it exactly what it is, product FAQs. And then on the type, this is where it's very important. It's very important to know where you're going to place this information because your theme may not have this readily available, this type available. So what we have in here, and as you can see with all these elements up here, this is a rich text. This gives you the ability to do bullet points, to do bolded, to do links. So this is what we considered a rich text block. If we go back to, for example, the title, right? If we go to the product title, actually that one is also a rich text. Bad idea. Let's see, price. Yeah, it's a little bit different. I was trying to give you just a very quick example of what may look a little bit. Oh, this one. Here we go. This heading, for example, this doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's just a single line text. So I just want to show you the difference, right? When you select the type, you click on this drop down, and it's going to give you a bunch of different types. Single line text is going to be just that little headline with no bells and whistles, no nothing. Multi-line text, again, no bells and whistles, but it gives you a bigger text box where you can write more stuff. But what we want really is that rich text. So this rich text is going to provide us with all the little bells and whistles that we would need in order to add this product FAQ section. So now that we've created that, and we're here in the back end looking at our hoodie, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, we'll see all of our product meta fields that we've created. This will look entirely different for you if you haven't made all of these that we've made for testing and other videos. But at the top of the line, we have product FAQs. We click on that and you see we have all of our FAQs, all of our rich data that we can change in there. If we click on one of these other ones, this multi-line text, for example, it'll tell you right there, multi-line text. You see it's a bigger text box, but no bells and whistles on things that we can change. If we do the size chart, for example, this one is like a page. So this one allows us to select a page. So they all serve different purposes. But for this example, we just need this. And we're going to go to our product FAQ. You can copy this exactly how it is. And we're going to put it in here. We're going to click save. And we're going to go back to our theme. And let's go to our product FAQs. And then let's go to our text. And in here, again, we're going to delete this because if we keep this, it's going to be the same for every product. But we want to connect a dynamic source. And we want to do our product FAQs. Now, if we click on our product FAQs, we should see them in here. They look ugly. So we may have to, come back over here. And because we have the ability to manipulate this, because we have a rich text, now we can change the H4 to something maybe like an H5. I think H5 will do. So we just highlight the text that we want to change, and we make it into something a little bit different. So H5 and all these different types of headings just give you a bunch of different types of sort of like CSS elements in here. So let's see how this looks. Not super beautiful, but we'll keep it for now. We'll keep it for now. We just need to add a little bit of spacing, maybe see if we can make it a little bit bolder. But I think for this video and what we want to accomplish, this is actually looking pretty nice. Now let me see, I see this, this is kind of going back and forth, right? You see this section moving as we're scrolling. I thought I saw something where maybe we can make this, so the height, okay, so the height we have it to fit. What if we do it to fill in the height? Does that change anything? That doesn't change anything at all. Okay, spacing, position. Oh, here we go. What if we do it center? I think that will look, yeah, that's exactly what we need. I think I'm happy, I'm good with if it, you know, scrolls, I always scroll, but the fact that we have it centered within the page, this looks beautiful. This looks great. And again, just a reminder, guys, we're doing this on the Horizon theme. As long as you have a vision for what you want, Horizon theme is more than capable of doing all these things. You just have to kind of know what you're doing and like poke enough inside of the theme in order to make it happen. Again, we haven't done anything custom in here. This has just been with the actual elements of the actual theme. And let me just kind of show you the difference here. Let me get rid of, and again, it's not as nice, right? But look, again, let me remind you, it's free. And we're getting pretty close here, which is awesome. I do see, yeah, they have reviews, which again, reviews is one of those where as long as you add your app in the back end, this is a little element that you can add in here. This size and fit guide, this is interesting. I would love to have this size and fit guide, but let's see what Horizon gives us out the gate and see if this is something that we can do here. So a lot of times I do go to the variant picker just to see what's available within here, and it doesn't look like, the fact that they have the color and size all matched up within the same one doesn't give me high hopes about this. But let me also look into the theme settings. Sometimes you'll see in here, I guess, yeah, we did look at the variant pickers. There was nothing in there. Okay, so I think our best case scenario here is going to be either we add the size fit guide as an accordion row, or we may be able to, if we, let's see, if we add a section just below that variant picker that has the option to, yeah, I don't know if this is possible or not. Okay, pop-up link. What if we do a pop-up link, right? And right now it just says learn more. What if we call it, what did they call it? They call it size and fit guide, right? Let's do size and fit guide. And then behavior, we could do drawer, just make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, let me see how this works. Let me save that, and then let's go to the full preview. If we click here, oh, okay, so I see the headline, and then I see the text right underneath. Beautiful. Okay, this may work, guys. Again, we don't have the ability to place it exactly where we want it, which would be just right above that 2XL, XL right here. That would be like magnificent placement, but the theme just doesn't allow us, again, with the default settings, to just add it there. So I think right there is the best case scenario for this size and fit guide. Now, I'm not going to add all the details because that would take another time, but the process for doing this will be the exact same process that we did for the product FAQs, where we're creating a new meta field, right, to fit in this size and fit guide for each individual item that you have in the backend. So this will look a little bit different. Let's at least change this right here to just call it the same thing, size and fit guide, and just keep it at that right there. Now, do they have, I was going to say, okay, yeah, they don't have the quantity selector, which is very interesting. A lot of brands are getting away from adding the quantity selector in here. As you can see, it's just the add to cart button going left to right. But ours, we have that quantity selector, which we don't really need. If you want to add more of the same product, just add it right there within the cart. The cart gives you the option to add more, and I'm sure that's what Represent is doing there. So let's see, this should be a pretty simple, let's get rid of it essentially. Yeah, I think we can just do the little eyeball. There we go. Now we have add to cart and buy it now. This buy it now by default in this preview is going to stay as this buy it now, but it's the same thing as what they have over here, which in here they have their buy with shop. So this button essentially is a dynamic button that changes depending on your browser, your history, all those things. Because I've purchased with shop before, it even has my card info in here already set up for me. So I can just click that button and just get straight to checkout or get straight to the thank you page essentially. But as you can see in this preview, it just has a very generic, simple buy it now button. But just know that this will change depending on the browser and where the customer is coming from. All right, so what we're gonna do here next, I think just again, to keep the video simple, I wanna try to recreate this section, this little gallery. Again, this is something that not a lot of people tend to do or have the capability of even doing because they don't know that this is available for them. But this to me is great. It's like you have everything that you need, right? In terms of information, in terms of imagery, to make that decision as a customer and purchase this item. But if you're not convinced yet, then you'll start scrolling. And when you start scrolling, they're still trying to convince you, right, to add this item. And they're trying to convince you with additional imagery, with zoomed in of the actual details and the elements of the product. They're also telling you that, hey, this goes great with some of these other items. And if you don't like any of that, look, we're still going to invite you to keep shopping with us, which these are all great elements. But for the sake of this video, let's see if we can get this section to work right within here. So first instinct is, let me just collapse all this. So we have our product information block, we have our recommended products right underneath, and let's see what's available here within Horizon. I think I tend to gravitate towards like the banners, right? And I think this layered slideshow may be something to look into. Okay, it's not exactly what we would need. Okay, all right, it's not bad. It's not bad. We may be able to test that, but let's see if there is anything else. That's basically about the same thing. And anytime that you in this previews, you see text and all, like just know that you can remove all that and just keep it as a simple gallery essentially. Okay, let's try this carousel actually. This may be more, yeah, this may be more closely aligned. This layered slideshow, let me see. Yeah, I'm afraid that it's more for these, horizontal type images, which it will just essentially crop everything that we would need. And I don't see anywhere in here where it gives us the option to select how tall the image is. Even here, like we have an auto large, maybe the auto, let me just test that. I don't think so. Yeah, I think this auto, in the sense of this section, it will just auto fix the height depending on the elements that you have inside of that. So honestly, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because I don't think that's gonna be the right one. I do think carousel is probably gonna be our winner. I'm just gonna hide this section for now, but I'm just gonna keep it just in case. And then on the carousel, we don't need the header, so we're just gonna get rid of that. As you can see, they just have a very simple, goes top to bottom, no gap in between, which I don't know if we'll be able to do, but we'll see. Let's see, carousel content, full screen view. We just need to get rid of that text. So on these cards, let's just delete that. I'm gonna delete these other cards because then we'll just duplicate that card that we worked the first one on. Let's go ahead and add that image in here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna duplicate this so we can get a sense on how this will look. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. It's a nice little carousel, right, where we can kind of go back and forth on some of those additional images. Now, the height, fit, fill. I don't like how sometimes you click on these things and nothing happens, Let's look at the whole column. Ooh, okay, perfect. Yeah, this is what we need. They're showcasing about, yeah, it's like two and a half, which I don't know if we'll be able to do I think we do, because when we do two, yeah. Man, Horizon, you're making it too easy. Or maybe Represent, you're making it too easy. I'll tell you what, I don't think any of this would have been possible on the Dawn theme. All these new little tweaks and little things that we can do is thanks to the Horizon theme, which is amazing. Now, okay, so we made it to, so can we get rid of that? Is this the gap? Is that it? Goodness, okay, let's go. Oh my gosh, this makes me so happy. Let me switch up some of the images in here so we get an idea. Oops, I think I did the first one. Hand in pocket. Oh man. Okay, I see what I did. Let's move that card. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and click save on that. Now, I don't think what we cannot do here is theirs goes all the way to the left. Can we do that? I don't think we can do that. I think it's gonna let's move this whole section too. Let's move it above the product recommendations. So we have it above that. And then let's go to our carousel content. Padding on the left. Can we do negative padding? That would be awesome. Can we? Wait, can we? Negative 20. No, we can't. Sorry. Okay, so carousel. Oh, we do have another. I always forget that we have that top layer. Top bottom. No, we want left and right. Oh, width, full. Guys, come on. There we have it. There we have it. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, look, this is not perfect, but this will get you closer to that represent look. And again, we didn't get a chance to talk through every single detail here. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I'm super happy with how this product page turned out. This looks great. This looks great. Real quick, one of the things that I see constantly across the 800 plus brands that we work with is that the product description is where stores lose people. Not the design, not the layout, not the words, the actual words. So if you're writing your own product copy and it's taking forever or it just doesn't sound right, we've actually put together a pack of 140 plus ChatGPT prompts specifically for clothing stores. In here, you'll see prompts about descriptions, but you'll also see things about headlines and about pages and a bunch of other stuff. It's actually one of our best sellers. So if you'd like to check that out, you can check it in the link in the description below. Now, if you watch all this and you thought, okay, I get it, but I need someone to just look at my store and tell me what to fix on my store, right? That's exactly what we have to offer to you. We have a free 45-minute strategy call. You can book a call with our team here at Bit Branding. We pull up your store. We can walk you through what's working, what's not working. You just need to click on the link below. Now, I know some of you commented on the video before on the homepage, so if you want me to keep this series going, we still have the collection page, we have the cart page, we have the checkout experience. We can make a little video on like all the little details, maybe adding all the apps right into this. But yeah, comment part 3 below, and I'll build whichever page maybe gets requested the most. And if you missed the homepage video where this all started, you can click on this link over here after I'm out of here. All right, make sure you subscribe. See ya.